Excuse me.
Get our recording going. All right. As I mentioned, it's just going to be me today. Kelly Fisher is not going to make it. The SoCal medium, if you're looking for her. So we're just going to get started with some group mediumship contacts to give some of you more of an idea of what we do and the way evidential mediumship can work. Sarah, I think you said you're okay to go first. For this format, often when we work in a group setting, and definitely in the one-on-one setting, I will just open my awareness and see who from the spirit world I naturally become aware of. For the sake of time in this type of setting, typically we'll ask if there's someone in particular you're hoping to hear from. And then just so you know, sometimes that person will come forward, but it also could be someone else. So keep your mind open. It's really the spirit person with the greatest need that will step in first usually. And sometimes I'll be able to get more than one person, just depending on what happens. So is there someone in particular you're hoping to hear from today?
Not really. Not specifically, no.
Nobody in particular?
No.
All right. Give me just a minute. Let's see who I see. All right. Okay, so let me just check. Do you happen to have a brother in spirit who would have been a baseball fan?
No.
Okay. Does this baseball fan fit for someone else in spirit that's maybe not a brother? Could be either a cousin or friend, someone of that generation.
Trying to think. No, not that comes to mind. No.
Okay, so let me get in there a little more. Okay. Would you have memories of attending a baseball game, even if it was just once, with a man who's in spirit, a male?
Yeah, but someone much older.
Okay. So that's the tough thing with age is sometimes, I mean, they can show themselves at any point in their life to me.
Yeah.
Okay. But this would have been more than just a like school baseball game. It would have either been professional or semi-professional.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let me get in there. And is this a grandpa for you?
It is, yes.
Okay. But so this was many years ago, is that correct? That this
Yeah.
memory occurred? Okay, so you both would have been quite a bit younger, maybe?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so then let me just check. Is this your dad's dad?
No, it's my mom's.
Okay, mom's dad. Do you know, does he have a brother?
He does, yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm like,
Sure he
I
did.
keep feeling brother in there somewhere. I'm gonna get it. All right. So, okay. Is there just the one memory, or did you attend a couple different games with him?
I think I remember there being more than one.
Okay, because one feels like it's more professional and a big deal, and then there's another one that feels like it maybe is like a minor league or like a, a smaller team, if that makes sense. The first one he's got me at is the professional one, the bigger field. So is this a team that's pretty well known?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And if you're friends with, Sharice mentioned that you're her friend, so you're probably in California, is that correct?
Yeah.
That's just my mind figuring that out.
I mean, I'm in California right now, but
right now, okay. You weren't always. Okay, that helps because I try to keep my mind out of it as much as possible and not let it attach, information. But it feels like, were you a pretty small girl? Like I want to say earlier teens?
Oh, I would have been younger. I would have been like a girl.
Okay, yeah, because the reason what I'm getting to, I think, is the way he's sharing it with me. I mean, I think he enjoyed the game of it, the baseball and understood the sport. But for you, it feels like it's more just the experience of the event rather than you being like a huge baseball fan. Does that make sense at that time?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And is it just the two of you that go that day?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So let me see. Did you sit just right by him?
I don't remember.
Okay. And you may have shifted around a bit too because you're kind
Yeah.
of small. Because he makes me aware that it was like just the time of you guys spending that day together and getting, I know that there were snacks involved because he's showing me some of I think it's just the typical, ice cream, Cracker Jacks, hot dog, like that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, but do you actually have, when you're small, a little baseball hat I can't quite tell if it's that team or not, but I feel like you're like ready to go.
I don't know. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know.
I know it's been a while too, so let me
Yeah.
talk about. Um, okay. Do you know, did he ever play a sport in his younger years, like college or high school age?
Um, I th- I think so. He was very athletic, but I don't know what.
I think that's kind of what he's shifting me to, is that he was, when he was younger at least, this very athletic and fit, and the way he's giving it to me, handsome guy.
Yeah.
Would you have seen pictures of him in his younger days or heard stories?
Yes. Yeah.
Because he's making me aware that his physique when he was younger, like he was quite fit. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And would you know, did he actually attend college?
He did. Yes.
Okay, because that's where he's bringing me, I think, is to higher education. And I feel like these were just his glory days. Does he meet his wife around that time?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. And then are they just together for like a really long chunk of their lives?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Because it feels like that's, he's kind of showing me that whole quintessential, college sweater, and then he meets his beloved, and I know that he just is enamored with her. Are there stories about when they meet each other that you would know?
Yeah.
Okay. Because he's talking about really having to court her. So is that part of the story that you're aware of?
Yes.
It feels like he has to make like a pretty good effort with this young lady. But it feels like she's quite beautiful. Does that make sense with what you've heard?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it feels like he's not, the way he's giving it to me is he's not her only potential suitor, that there are other gentlemen that would like to court her as well. Is that a part of the story that you've heard?
I mean, that's not necessarily part of, but yeah, but I'm sure it was true.
Okay. Because it feels like he really makes like a diligent, consistent effort to let her know that he's serious, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Is he, okay, forgive me if I'm wrong with this, at that time in his life, is he a little bit, I want to say like a little bit of a playboy, but I feel like that's a strong way to phrase it. Does he have a lot of ladies interested in him?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it feels like it's a big deal that he is courting her specifically and in a dedicated way, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do they both stay at the dorms on campus? I know it's not co-ed at this time where they are. But do you know, are they both on campus?
Yeah, I think so. I think they were both on campus.
Because it feels like he's doing even kind of extreme things, like was he in a fraternity?
I assume so. Yeah.
Okay, because it feels like he's showing me this memory of going and almost like serenading outside of her room or class or dorm or whatever that building is. Do you know about this?
I don't know about that. I know yeah, there's some other stories, but
okay.
But that wouldn't surprise me.
Let me see if I can get in there, because it does feel like he has the ability to do these grand gestures.
Yeah.
And it feels like he's the way he's giving it to me with his personality is that he's not shy to make a spectacle out of himself, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's okay with attention. Can we say that?
Okay.
So let's see. Does he actually present her with, like, it's before an engagement ring, but it feels like it's either like a class ring or something of his?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me, but
yeah, I'm not quite sure. Okay, so let me just see if I can get a better handle, because he does keep showing me some kind of a class ring of some kind. I'm not quite sure. All right, so let's see what else he wants to tell me about. Are they married just shortly after college?
Yes.
Okay, because it feels like pretty quickly. And then do they start having kids within like a year or two of that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, because it feels like that they just kind of start right into that family life. And your grandma is in spirit as well?
Yes.
Okay. That's why I'm like, I can feel both of them. Okay, so let's see. Because I'm aware that she's quite an intelligent lady. Does that make sense? I mean, obviously she's in college. She has some level of intelligence, but
Yes, yeah.
she feels just really bright. Did she end up handling a lot of the bookkeeping things at home for the family?
She did after he died, I know for sure, but I
Okay, but
think
you're
she
not
had,
sure about when they were together.
yeah, I don't know.
Here's why. It feels like she does the traditional like quote unquote homemaking things very well, but it feels like the way she's giving it to me is like she's more than that. Not that that's not enough, because that's, as we know, a really big job in itself. But she has other skills and abilities besides that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And would you know, is she artistic, your grandma?
Yes, very.
Okay. I feel like there's that definite flair with her. Did she paint at some point in her life?
Yeah, she did.
Okay. And are there some watercolors that you would have seen that she did?
Mm,
Some of it feels more blendy, the way I'm seeing the painting.
she used to paint mostly on like needlepoint canvases.
Oh, wow.
Um,
That's
but
really
she,
cool.
I don't know if I don't know what other.
What other things she's done? Okay.
Yeah.
So let me get in there because she's just so creative. Did she do a lot of landscapes and scenery, things from nature?
Yes.
Okay. The other thing is, did she sometimes create, it's not quite a craft, it looks almost more like a needlepoint type thing for holidays, like as gifts or just for holiday time to decorate?
Yes.
There's one in particular, and I'm not sure if I'm right with this, but does she make something that's got a cardinal on it, like the red bird?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you still have that?
I do.
Okay, that's there we go. And it's just her attention to detail is spectacular, is the way I'm seeing it. It's just like every inch is where it's supposed to be, if that makes sense. Um, and okay, let's see. But she's got such a softness about her at times. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, no one's any one way all the time. But it does feel like she does as a grandma have that nurturing, very sweet, coddly hug about her, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I think you just mentioned grandpa passes away before grandma.
He did. Yes.
Okay. And does she live on her own after that time for a good while?
She did. She lived. Yeah.
By herself, yeah, because it feels like she gets this surge of independence at that time. But she feels like she stays very busy. Do you know, is she involved in like activities or groups of some kind outside the home as well?
Yes, she stayed very busy.
She does feel very busy. But does she do also a bit of work with charitable organizations?
Yes.
Okay. And it's not just attending charitable functions. She also has a hand in organizing some things. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know if she would have, this is broad, obviously, because I'm sure you don't know every detail of her life, but did she actually get involved in organizing an auction for charity at some point?
I don't know.
Okay, because it feels like there's items that are being auctioned off. Okay, because I know she feels comfortable in her life, if that makes sense. So would you understand after grandpa passes that she does still have a sense of financial security and comfort?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And that's why in her heart, the way I feel it is that she spends a lot of her time and energy in giving back and finding ways to help others, help those less fortunate, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And does she stay very sharp in her mind for many, many years?
Yes.
Okay. And with her, is it just sort of a gradual breakdown of her physical body that ultimately causes her passing?
No, not
No.
really. It was,
Okay, so let me
yeah.
get in there a little more and see if I can understand. Because it does feel like so after Grandpa passes, it feels like there's many years of just pretty good health. I mean, I'm aware she's aging, and as we grow old, things sort of get a little squeaky, if we can say. But it feels like for many years, she's in pretty good health, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then is there a cancer with her later on?
No,
It's
not
okay
that
if
we
it's
know.
no. I'm just trying to understand. Is there something specific that she's going in for regular treatment in her later days?
Not that I know of.
Okay, so let's see. I'm just kind of trying to understand. And let me check it this way. Would you happen to know if she ever did, as part of her charitable contribution, like visiting others in hospital?
Yes.
Okay, so that's where I'm seeing that back. I'm like, why is she so back and forth to the hospital? Then she looks great. Okay, thanks, Grandma. So she's actually going and sitting and giving service to others in that way then. Okay, thanks, that's helpful. So let's see then. Okay, is her passing quite sudden though?
Yes, it was sudden.
Okay, because it feels like, yeah, it feels like she's pretty vibrant and then all of a sudden she's gone. Um, but is it her personality that that's kind of the way you would assume that she would want it if she had the option?
Oh yeah.
It feels like the reason why is it sort of feels like she's giving it to me as that she wouldn't want there to be a fuss over her all the time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes
Uh,
sense.
and it feels like she wouldn't have been comfortable staying in the hospital for a long period of time. She's much more on the move than that, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's see, where else are we with A? Um, And it's funny because did they both do, when they were both alive together, did they both do a lot of talking and engaging with people? Because it doesn't feel like one is, oftentimes with older couples, I'll get like where one is the quiet one and the other one takes the lead. But it feels like they're pretty equal, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably true.
Okay. So let's see. Okay. Are you thinking about taking a trip for holidays?
Yeah, well, yes.
Okay. I'm trying to see, Grandma's bringing the holidays again. I missed something. So I'm
Okay.
trying to see what she would like to get me to on that. Um, and is this to see like a sibling of yours?
No.
No, okay, just extended people. It just feels like something you don't normally do around the holidays. Is that correct?
Yeah, no, we're
Okay.
it's yeah.
It's just like not something normal. Um, okay. It's it's funny because she keeps like giving me a back and forth. Were you back and forth for a while as to whether you were going to go or not?
Well, it's not so it's not really no, there's no I mean, this is a trip, but it's like the week before the holidays.
Okay.
And then
Um,
what's happening after, like for the actual holidays, I don't know yet, actually. So,
okay. So the trip is just not quite in the way I'm understanding it.
oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know, but
Okay. So let me see. Is it not like a trip to visit family or friends? Is a different kind of trip?
correct. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's the part I was not understanding because it doesn't, the way she's giving it to me, it didn't feel really like festive and fun. So I was like, are you not, what's missing here?
Right.
Okay. So that makes sense. Um, yeah. And it's just this sense from her of with all of that travel beforehand, it's this feeling that she wants to make sure you're still able to get in that holiday spirit for yourself, if you will. Um, did she really enjoy the holidays and that family time and togetherness?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know it's for her, it's not just the decorations and not just the food. They're all elements that make it up, but it's almost a feeling for her that she gets around that time of year, and she wants to make sure that you get in the holiday spirit is the way she's giving it to me, if that makes sense. Well, thank you so much for sharing them with me. That was fun.
No, thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Nice.
And then we have someone new who's just joined us, Kathy. How are you, Kathy?
Fine, thank you. Hi.
Hi. I am going to come to you if it's okay. Is there anyone that you're hoping to hear from today?
Say it again, please,
Is
Joy.
there anyone that you're hoping to hear from today?
I just, if anybody comes to you, that would be awesome. I don't have anybody specifically in
Nobody
mind.
in particular. Okay. And have I met you before? I don't think I have.
I came to one of the classes in Kensington.
Okay, a while back.
It was in October.
Okay, that's not a while back, but in my life, it feels like it was a while ago. Your voice sounds familiar, even though I can't see you. That's why I was like, your voice does sound a little familiar. Okay.
Yes.
Let me get in here and see. Okay. Kathy, do you have mom in spirit?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And are we, okay, let's see. Are we right around the time of either her birthday or her passing?
No, she was born in April and she died in April.
Okay, that's so interesting.
But I am near my dad's birthday.
Yeah, no.
My dad's birthday actually is tomorrow.
Oh, that's cool. And is your dad still with us in the physical?
No.
He's on the other side as well. Okay.
Yes.
So let me see if I can understand her a little bit better. With your mom, did she have a love of gardening and tending to flowers and that kind of thing?
No.
It's okay if no. She keeps giving me these pink roses and I'm trying to understand them. That's why I'm like, doesn't feel like Mother's Day, but what are these pink roses? Okay. So let me just get in there a bit then. Okay. Okay. Are you with her quite a bit in her last days, like towards the end of her life?
No, actually she lived in Indiana and I was out here in California.
Okay.
So I got to spend some time with her, like maybe a couple week before she died.
Okay, I can take that.
Yeah.
And do you remember, did she have this is a really random thing, but did she have a floral bedspread on her bed at that time?
Yeah. I honestly don't remember.
Don't remember. Okay,
no,
that's fine.
I don't remember.
Okay, so let me get in there. Okay, and do we keep her at home for like as long as possible? Because it feels like she gets to stay home for a long time.
Yeah, she just, she was never in a place or anything like that. She wasn't sick for a long period of time. She just kind of, kind of one day died. Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. I mean, she was having surgery, so.
Okay, so that's why she's on like a bed rest, if you will, for a little bit.
Yeah, she was in the hospital for a little bit, but not long.
Okay, and then she's home, and is that when you're there visiting, is when she's home recovering?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I'm like, I know she's in bed more than she's usually, and I couldn't quite. Okay. But does she live in the same home for like a really good number of years?
Yeah.
Okay. And let's see. And I mean, obviously she's recovering, so you're, probably this is correct just for common sense sake, but are you spending time with her mostly in her bedroom during that week or two that you visited?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't there a whole lot, to be honest with you, but when I was there, she was recovering. Yes.
Okay. And do you have a sister?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is your sister closer to her and was kind of looking in on her a little bit more? Like,
My
closer?
sister's in spirit also.
Okay.
So, and she lived at the time in Florida.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, let me sort it. 'Cause it's if
yeah.
she's bringing your sister, that means she's got your sister.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. But has your sister only been on the other side a little handful of years? It doesn't feel like it's 20 years. It feels like it's
no. It's been, I think it's been like 8 or 9 years
okay.
now, maybe 8. It hasn't been that long. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, so let me just check. Was your sister ever a smoker?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Because I've got a woman that's smoking, and I can't tell if it's your mom or your sister.
Both.
Oh, both. Okay, no wonder.
Yes. Like
so you'll be pleased to know that they're smoking over there. No, I'm just kidding.
Nonstop.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's funny that you say that, Joy, because my mom said if she knew she had quit, and she said, if I knew I was going to die in the next year or 6 months, I would start smoking again tomorrow.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So she really missed smoking.
The funny thing with mom is, does she, even after she quits, does she still maintain a little bit of that like smoker's cough?
No, she didn't really have that. My sister definitely
Your sister has it. Okay, because I'm like, one of them keeps talking to me with like a rasp and like keeps having to like clear their throat.
Yeah, that's my sister.
Okay. And they're kind of pinging back and forth. Is that their personality, that they would kind of, one would talk and then the other and then one and then the other?
Well, they were just both really, really, really codependent.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah, really in a not good way.
Okay. With mom, does she still get her nails done into her later years?
No, it's funny that you say nails though, Joy. Both my mom and my sister, this was my big pet peeve with both of them. I have really beautiful long nails. They both chewed their nails down to the nubs, and it embarrassed the crap out of me.
Because your sister's showing me those horrible nubby nails, and then your mom was showing me just lovely painted nails. So I was like, wait, are you?
Nope, that's me. That's me.
That's you. Okay.
That's me.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I know that they've just both got your sister for sure has got is it fair to say that her sense of humor is such that she just would sometimes just spontaneously come out with something and you're like, oh my gosh, you can't say that, or it just feels like you never know what she's going to say.
Yeah, but it wasn't humorous.
She thought it was humorous maybe sometimes, but
yeah, I'm sure she thought it was humorous. It was not humorous.
Yeah, because she's just a little bit, the way she says it is a little rough around the edges.
Very. She's very rough around the edges. Yes.
That's so funny.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And with mom, it is funny because they both kind of talk in unison a little bit. With mom, does she have a love of, this is so weird, a love of the TV Guide? She keeps bringing me TV Guide.
Yeah. People Magazine. Okay. Soap operas.
Yeah, because it's like she wants to know about her stories, and she wants to know about the characters, and
yeah, she was really into that.
She enjoys that. Okay, and I don't read the TV Guide, and I don't even know if they still have them, but the crossword puzzles, were they?
Yeah,
things from TV shows, and then you fill in the answers of.
Yeah, she did those every day.
Okay,
yeah.
She keeps showing me those. And it's almost like she got this little, I want to call it like a side saddle thing that's off her chair where you like put the TV Guide and the little thing that you slide into.
She sat in a chair much like the one you're sitting in, like a wingtip chair, and she like lived in that chair.
Oh,
you know, and did crafts and did her, watch TV.
But I feel like it's almost like her own little island where there's like a basket of this over here, and then this thing I could put my magazines here, and then my little table that has the ashtray and my lamp, and
and her puzzle and her crafting and her
it just feels like she really hasn't got to get up for much. I mean,
nope.
Been hanging out there for quite some time. The other thing is, one of the houses that you guys lived in at some point, was it one with the darker wood paneling?
We did have the house that I grew up in at one point did have that dark kind of wood paneling. Yeah.
Okay.
And they redid it. They redid it for.
Is that the same house that she lived in, but just without the paneling?
No, we grew up in one house. And then my mom and dad later on in life got divorced, and then she lived in another place.
Okay. That makes
later on in life.
When it was the wood paneling house, is that when you guys are all together still?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's just this interesting sense with her. Is she not the most forthcoming with her emotions as a person?
No, she's not.
Okay.
No.
I think that's why she's giving it to me in a different way than I normally would get it. And it's almost like she's pulling everyone together just in love, even though I'm aware that there's, in real life, everyone, was very separated with their own stuff.
Yeah. Family was the most important thing to her. So that makes perfect sense, Joy.
Okay.
But it wasn't important. Like all of us kind of did our own thing.
That's how it feels. It feels like you guys did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then your dad's on the other side too?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm aware of him. He's a little further back. Is that his personality? It feels like he kind of lets his girls talk and he just stays to the back a bit. And would you understand some drinking with him?
Yeah, he was an alcoholic.
Okay. And would you understand that this affects his personality in what we might perceive as a negative way? Okay.
Yeah. My sister and him were both really low bottom alcoholics.
Okay. It does feel like a similar gruffness to your sister, but I think his could go to just a different level in relation to your mom is the way I want to say it.
Yeah.
And mom is kind of saying that they could fight like cats and dogs.
They never did.
That was in front of you.
Yeah, never in front. Yeah.
But it does feel like the way your mom's making me understand it is that behind closed doors, she would tell your dad what for, if you will. She definitely let him know when she was unhappy with his behavior, is the way she's saying it in her own way. Okay, let's see. I feel your sister kind of scooching in a little bit more, and let me just get a little bit more from her. Sorry. Is she not the most feminine, fluffy girl?
Oh God, no.
No. Okay, that makes sense then, because she just feels a little less feminine.
She's very.
One of the guys is kind of the from her.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's hard to when somebody's like really a low bottom alcoholic from a young age. It's hard to know what she really would have been like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, because that color just everything. Yeah. And it's just, she's talking about her priorities and how, had they been different, maybe it would have been different. Does she not have children?
She does have children.
Interesting. Is she a little bit more removed from them? Like, do they kind of do their own thing and she's in her world? Okay.
My mom raised them.
Okay.
So,
All right. And are you not really much in contact with them anymore?
I'm actually I'm super, super close to them.
Okay. Like, let's see if I can understand that a little bit more, because there's something in here, obviously, then she's bringing it. Okay. And it is just the sense of it's gratitude for you for sure, but then it's a little bit of an apology in the sense that I'm sorry I wasn't fully present or fully myself in any way. And that it doesn't feel like she made all of her choices and decisions from a conscious place of, this is a good choice for my life. It just seems like she just rolled with things and things happened, and then she dealt with things from there. Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Is there a grandchild? Would have been her grandchild?
So, yes, there is.
Is there at least one girl?
There's one, and actually that's not true now. There's two now. One's a boy and the other one's a boy, and he was adopted. So my nephew and niece both have one child.
Okay. So maybe let me just get in there. But are they still pretty small?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
One is a freshman in college.
Grade school, middle school.
Yeah.
Oh, freshman in college.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think she's pretty aware of them. So one of them's still pretty little. Did either one of them, I don't know what it is with baseball references today, but did one of them play like Little League or T-ball or that kind of a thing?
You know, I don't know that, Joy.
Okay.
I'm not.
And you can check on
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
I think she's just giving a nod to know that she's aware of what's been going on and who's here since she's passed.
Yeah.
And let's see, this is a physical description is usually not helpful just because a lot can be lost in interpretation, but is she kind of a taller gal?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. She feels kind of taller in physical stature. But your mom feels quite a bit smaller than her.
No, we're all I'm 6'1".
Okay.
My mom's 6'1" and my dad's 6'6".
Oh wow, you guys all are quite tall.
Yeah, my sister's tall too.
Okay, yeah. So let's see. Why does your mom feel so much smaller?
Yes.
Does mom start to become kind of more, well, I know you said she had a surgery. She just feels like she used to be so much more capable, and it feels like her hands start not allowing her to do some of the things she enjoyed. Do you know, did she have some arthritis or pain in her hands?
Not that I know of. No, okay. Not that I know of. She was really, really, now when I say active, I mean work, not physical.
Right.
But she worked, she died at 72 and she worked till like the week she died. She was still working. She was still selling houses. So.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let me see. Okay. The only other thing is with your sister, is she like not Miami? Is she more, I want to say like central northern Florida? I don't know Florida very well.
Yeah. She lived in Naples.
Okay.
Which is a beach community. And
more toward the north and the south though?
God, I've been there 1,000 times and I can't even, I think it's, you know what? I know it's, I know it's like in this, towards the bottom of the state.
Okay.
I get confused. I had family on both sides of the coast, so I get confused which one's which.
Yeah, it's confusing over there.
Yeah.
The only other little thing that I keep hearing her say is, and I think this is a team, is Florida Gators, like go Gators. So don't take that for what you have it. I don't know.
Well, I've been a college coach for my whole life, so.
Oh, okay. I do remember you then, Kathy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know if that's a college team or what.
It is. It is.
Okay.
It is.
Like, I don't know. I don't know the teams in Florida. Sorry, Florida.
No, that's a college team, and I've worked with college teams my whole life. So.
Oh, that's fun.
That would make sense.
That does make sense.
Yeah.
I do feel like they're just pretty strongly around you. I feel like your dad is a little more of a quiet support for you right now. Mm-hmm. But mom and sister feel like they're very much in the forefront and very much, kind of one talks and then the other. It's almost like in stereo. You hear one and then the other. And but I feel like your mom more so makes you aware that she's in your space. I know you're mediumistic as well. Okay. So you are aware of her.
I am. I smell, I hated that she smoked cigarettes, and I smell her brand of cigarettes all the time.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. And it's like, can't you show me another, like it annoyed me in life, and now it doesn't annoy me, but I just think it's kind of funny. It's like, that's the one thing I didn't like.
That's funny.
But it must be
I
the
want to take
easiest.
a stab at it, but it's not the Newport kind, is it?
God, it's she smoked Virginia Slims.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yes.
That's funny. It's like the very stereotypical real estate agent cigarette from the 80s, I think.
Yes, that's what
Which
she
is
smoked.
probably why she has it. I mean, that's funny. But she's quite the powerhouse of a real estate agent. Does that make sense?
Yeah, she really was. She was a powerhouse woman. Yeah.
I know only some about real estate. Is she doing? I know some people are buyer's agents and some people are seller's agents, but she feels like she does a bit of both.
Yeah, she did. She did.
And does she consider herself, or I don't know if you'll know this, specializing in finding people the right fit is the way she keeps giving it to me. It's not just
she was
in to see a bunch of homes. It's like she actually finds out a lot of information and prides herself on being able to pretty quickly show people the house that would be the one that they would want.
Yeah, she was very good at that. She could have been the mayor of Indianapolis.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, because she knew so many people.
I do remember about you that you're kind of going through a transition as far as career and things.
Yep.
I don't feel like real estate is what you want to do, but I do have to tell you that your mom is saying that you'd be quite good at it.
Oh, God.
As well.
Joy.
And she's aware that it's not what you'd want to do either, I think. But
okay, so Joy,
yeah,
you're very good.
Thanks.
If I had $1 for every time my mother told me that I would be a good realtor, I wouldn't have to work.
So she's just trying to throw it in there one last time.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. She used to say that to me all the time. I'm like, Mom, I'm not going to do that.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Well, on the other side, as on this side, they do tend to give advice similarly to what they would have given when they were here. So
yes,
I think she's just letting you know that that's always an option for you.
Yes.
Should you choose or not be able to choose something, you could always go into real estate and you'd be great at it. She wants you to know.
Oh, God.
Thank you so much for sharing them with me.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh,
that was lovely. Thank you.
The only one I haven't gotten to yet is Miss Charisse. I'm going to unmute you. Oh, there, you did it. Hi. Charisse.
That was a lot of fun listening to everybody else.
Is there someone that you're wanting to hear from?
Well, I've been thinking about my paternal grandmother, but also my spiritual mentor. Her name's Barbara.
Okay.
I haven't ever contacted her, and I mean, if she's available, I know she's probably busy in the spirit world because that's what she.
Well, I believe that once we're not confined to a physical body, we can be many places all at once. So I'm sure she is busy, but I'm sure she's.
I mean, I know she'd love to be available for me. I haven't specifically requested her, but I'm also kind of feeling my paternal grandmother as well.
Do you know a fair amount about Barbara?
Yeah.
All right. Let me see, because I do feel a woman stepping forward. I know you said spiritual mentor, but is it fair to consider her also like a shaman of sorts?
Yes.
Okay. Because I feel like she just has this history of delving into different cultures and different healing modalities from different lands is the way she's giving it to me. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Because I feel like she's, okay, is she quite the herbal remedist for herself and probably for others, I would think.
Yeah.
It's almost like no matter what ails you, if it's a headache or a tummy ache or a foot ache, she's got something for you to try.
All the current modalities and alternatives.
Yeah, it feels like before her time with that. Can I say that she was just much before her time of employing like Reiki or energy work?
Yeah, definitely Reiki came to her at a younger time.
Did she, I know you do some work as a doula and helping usher people through that transition. Does she do some work in that way as well with pregnant women?
No. Well, she actually was at a couple of my births.
Okay. So
but
maybe
not physically. not physically.
Not physically.
So
Okay.
she was aware of that, like, transformative time, whether it was birth or death. Like, I think
It
she was
does
very
feel like she's
familiar
very
with-
aware of the transitions,
Yeah.
if you will. Okay, let's see. Have you spent time in her like home or office?
I was at her home a lot. Yeah, when
Okay.
she was yeah.
Does she have just this big clear open space in the middle of one of her rooms? It feels like there's a lot of light in that room, and it feels like there's like a lot of bookshelves or shelves around the edges. And it feels like there's a harder surface floor rather than like a squishy carpet. It's either wood with a small carpet over it or wood. Do you know what I'm talking about? Does that make sense?
Oh, she used to hold a lot of workshops in a big open space, but I'm not sure about her home having a big open room.
Okay. It doesn't feel huge, but it feels like a little bigger than a normal size room, but nothing's in the middle. So maybe that is her workshop space.
Yeah.
So let's see. Was she also just a collector of books? Did she have a lot of actual like hard books rather than online books? 'Cause it feels like she's got books from different, they feel like for her that they are what we would consider like a textbook, but it doesn't feel like a textbook in the traditional sense of the word. So it feels like it would have been different modalities or things that she learned that there are different manuals for.
Yes, manuals. Yes. She was kind of just before the online, you know.
Oh, okay. So she's got a good collection of those. Did she work with the energy meridians as well?
Yes.
Okay, because she keeps showing me the little, almost like stick drawing form with the meridian lines all in it. Oh, that's interesting. Did she do some of this work with you, like actual healing work with you?
Yes.
Okay. Take this for what it's worth, because I only know a little about the meridians. I couldn't name them for you, but she's kind of showing me this upper shoulder chest connection for you, and she's saying that you can do your own energy work there and take some of the congestion out, is the way she's saying it.
Oh, nice.
If that makes sense. Okay. And she's talking about something weighing heavy on your heart. So let me get in there a little bit and see. Oh, okay. I know that we've talked about this before recently, that you're considering not necessarily a shift with your work, but expanding more and getting more into the doula side of things. Is that still correct?
Yes.
Okay. Because she's talking about a new beginning, and she's talking about that you're wanting it, but then it's almost like you feel like there's a space between you and the actual work of it. She's talking about bridging the gap. So let me see if I can understand that a little bit more. It's almost like this sense that you do want it, but then you take 2 steps back and you like the thought of it, but then when it comes to you, it's like you get a little scared, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there's still some hesitation.
Yeah, it's a hesitation is what it is. 'Cause it's not that you don't want to do it. The way she's making me understand it is she feels like you're very heavily judging yourself and your own abilities. And she's kind of saying that you've always been that way. That you're not, okay, it takes you quite a while to be confident in your energetic abilities, if you will. Okay. Let me see. Does she have a partner at one point?
Yes.
Okay. But then is there some separation towards the end of her life? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And then it's a sense that things feel a little more clear for her when she's on her own. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And it's the sense that her schedule can be whatever she wants it to be, because I feel like sometimes she'd get to working the energy or things just very late into the night. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, she was married and they lived separately and they had 2 totally different households.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
She does feel like she enjoys and embraces that time by herself to be able to kind of do whatever she wants with her work.
Right.
Is the work just really the main focus of her life.
Yes.
Because it feels like a creation all of its own. And I know she pours so much heart and soul and has so much integrity in her work, is the way she makes me feel.
Yeah.
And just like this lifetime of wisdom with this woman.
I know. I feel like that guidance is, I mean, I have lovely people in my life, but that direct guidance from her, like,
because it feels like she had a special way of being very like firm and direct with you, but not mean. Does that make sense?
Very loving, yeah.
Yeah, very loving, but she could also be, she's not wishy-washy with you. She's firm, and she's very direct in telling you, you know, her opinion or her guidance. But it is with love, because she's such a loving woman. I think all of her work comes from just pure love. And let's see. It is very much the sense that you're being very hard on yourself, and that you do already have everything you need to do to be doing the work, is kind of what she's saying. She's saying you have all the knowledge, you have all the energetic abilities. Are you thinking about getting some sort of like paper certification?
Well, yeah, that's the whole idea of going to midwifery school, I think, is to actually get like the paperwork.
The paper.
Legitimate.
Okay. Because she's showing me that, and she's saying there is value in that. Just in our physical world and the way things work, there's value to have a certificate saying, you know, yes, I did the formal training. But she's saying, you know, go through the process, but really you have everything already. You have all the tools, you have the intuitive sense of being able to help with all of that, and almost empathically know, okay, this woman needs some extra support in her back now, or she, you know, this would be useful for her. That to really lean into those abilities that you have, because she's kind of saying you have it all already. It's already all within you. She feels like she was trying to help bring it out of you and help you unfold a bit. But she's saying there's still a lot of self-judgment and self-critique in there, is what she's saying. Suggestion is, one of the suggestions, if I'm understanding her correctly, is that instead of looking at yourself and judging yourself and your own work, what you could do is look at the service that you provided for that client, for example, and just ask yourself, did they feel valued? Did they feel supported? Did you use your gifts out of love to the best of your ability in that moment? She's saying those are the criteria to be looking at, rather than, am I good enough, and those type of questions, if that makes sense.
Oh, thank you. That's sweet. I know, because especially recently, I got such good feedback, you know, and it's like, wait a minute, like this doesn't match my inner voice.
Yeah, well, your inner voice, could shush a little sometimes, let's just say. Yeah, it's just a very self-critical judgment. Was she working on some of that, like, inner child stuff with you?
Yeah.
Okay. She's bringing that up. And she's saying you can continue the work that she was doing with you, just in your own way. And you can also meet with her in meditation for guidance. It feels like she's around you quite a bit, still helping you with your spiritual healing. She's very sweet. Yeah, it's just the sense that the more you can let your light shine out and not be afraid to be seen, is the way she's saying it, the more people that you can help and touch, because it's just the sense that you've got this really bright light, but then you're shielding it a little bit, like there's a little bit of fear of being seen in the world. And it's the sense that she's very direct, because she's like, let your light shine. Just let it shine so bright that it, you know, blinds people to everything else, and you don't need to worry about it. But I know that she spends a lot of time with you, and she really gives you her love and support. And I would really encourage you to call on her during your work and your study, even if it's just energy work that you're doing. Kind of call on her for support and let yourself feel her gently next to you or behind you, or whatever works for you, because I know that she's still strongly supporting you and working with you.
Yeah, that's really sweet. The whole school thing right now, like, I feel like it is like that paper is like kind of a vehicle for being even a little bit more engaged and active in the work.
Yeah.
So like, I do have the proximity to the work, but I guess that was a kind of a question mark, because I know it's a vehicle for working in a larger capacity as far as one realm goes, but
Right.
there's a lot of stuff I'm currently doing that doesn't require that. So I'm not sure about
It's
the
validation
whole
from
thing.
her that on the one side you already have all the tools, but then yeah, it is validating to have that piece of paper, and especially with the doula work. I mean, for a lot of people, it would be the deciding factor. So I think if you feel called to do that, I would honor it. It seems like she's in support of it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys all for coming and sharing all your loved ones with me. I really appreciate you ladies today. Flying solo out here. So. Well, thank you all so much for coming. And I think you all already know, but we do have Development Circle tomorrow evening in Mountain Heights.
I didn't know when it was.
It's tomorrow. And there's still availability on Eventbrite. I think we're at 13 or 14 right now, but that always kind of shifts in the last 24 hours. So if any of you can make it, we'd love to see you. And I think we miss next week for the Facebook Live for Thanksgiving, and then we are back the following week. So,
Joy, I went on Eventbrite and I couldn't find it. So,
are you on my Facebook Psychic Medium Joy Giovanni page?
Yeah, I thought I was, but
okay,
maybe
it's on there too. It's a Facebook event too. So if you search the Facebook events for tomorrow, it links that way. If you can't find it, just email me directly.
Okay.
I'll help you. Or you can just show up at the door, say the door too. That's also allowed. Whatever. We try to make it easy. We're inclusive. So.
Okay. Perfect.
Thank you, ladies, for coming, and have a great rest of your day. Stay dry if you're. It looks like it's going to rain in my office. So.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.